Officially here, you might notice it's a little louder outside. That's because migratory songbirds are making their way back to the Green Mountains. Our Ben David heads to the Audubon Center in Huntington to learn more in this week's Wildlife Watch.
It's officially spring at the Audubon Center. That means the sap is running in some of their 600 sap buckets.
Well, spring is it's a time of transition, right? It's a time of transition for people and what we do. You know, we go from skiing to sugaring this time of year, and in the natural world, it's a time when a lot of the birds are starting to change their behaviors as well.
But with sugaring comes singing birds as they start to get ready for the summer nesting season.
So it's the time right now to hear some of the more resident birds, or what we might call short distance migrants. So birds that left Vermont back in November, but maybe they only went to Pennsylvania or the Carolinas, southeast part of the U.S. They tend to come back a little earlier, right around this time of the year. So things like the red-winged blackbirds now that weren't here in the winter, we're starting to hear them now. The brown creeper, which was probably here most of the winter, maybe left the state for a short while, they're starting to sing as well. The tufted titmouse is starting to sing. Bluebirds are now starting to check out nest boxes as they're already looking for places to be nesting in.
Steve Hagenboo of the Audubon Center adds that climate change can have an impact on the birds we see in our region and how they survive.
Really, birds are triggered to migrate by length of daylight, rather than what the temperatures are. And birds right now, like our scarlet tanagers that might be in South America, they don't know what the weather conditions are like up here. And so they're being triggered, their hormones are evolving in their bodies based on the amount of daylight that's available. For those shorter distance migrants though, so birds that might be in Virginia for the winter, they're going to come back at a time, and we start to get this variable weather, right? We get these extremes in weather where we had what felt like April and February, and then we got winter time here in March again. If those birds have returned and we get hit with some of those extreme weather events that are a little less hospitable, that could have impacts on their abilities to be able to make it.
But here locally on the trails of the Audubon Center,
we love spring at Audubon, not only for maple sugaring, but because, of course, birds are starting to come back.
And spring comes the same time that the state recommends you take down your bird feeder to keep bears away. Audubon says bird feeders are more for bird watching and less for actually feeding birds. So with the feeders coming down, Audubon encourages you to get out to get educated on nature and, of course, birds.
It's good for you to be outdoors. It's good for kids of all ages to be outdoors. And so coming to the Audubon Center is just a really fun place to explore.
If you want to learn more about birds or just get outside, the Audubon Center of Vermont offers free bird walks in the spring and in the summer. We'll have that information on our website. In Huntington, Ben David, Channel 3 News.